Barnard Castle, a pretty, historic town with its cobbled streets, stone cottages, meandering river, quaint shops and beautiful countryside, a perfect place to live, you might think. Well, think again. This town holds a dark, grisly secret, a secret of countless murders, suicides and fatal accidents, bringing many of its inhabitants to an early, tragic, often brutal and very bloody end. Within yards of each other, numerous deaths have ranged from tragic drownings, poisonings, self-mutilation, plummeting from great heights, hangings, being crushed, flattened or burned to death, to even being shot through the head with a crossbow bolt. But is death the end? Some believe that a spirit can be trapped between this world and the next, remaining with us condemned to roam for all eternity. Having so many deaths within such a small community of just 5,500 living souls urged us to carry out the UK's first ghost census. Travelling door to door, seeking out ghostly experiences within 100 of the town's shops and pubs, produced 39 stories. And with the locals chipping in even more, the figure has already crept up to 80. Our website features a series of videos sharing with you these stories told predominantly by the people who had indeed experienced them, truly believing that they had each had a personal encounter with a ghost or had experienced some form of extraordinary paranormal activity. And here other locals give accounts of grisly, lurid, yet true stories of death here. This large collection of fascinating videos will take you on a terror trail of Barnard Castle. Here's a little taster of what we have in store.
They found the body crouched in a closet with the feet completely burnt off.
And it was orbs, basically, that's what I could describe them as.
The knife had penetrated more the direction of the root of the tongue.
Everything on your body went up, the hairs, the hackles, everything.
His right leg was hanging on by a bit of skin.
The wall would shake.
2 men were on the Durham side of the bridge. They were carried off and drowned.
It felt like somebody had sat across my chest.
In the scuffle, he was stabbed.
Each time with that creepy grin across its face.
Discharged the crossbow and it hit Eustace in the forehead.
She said, well, she just walked through the wall.
35 men were either killed or seriously injured in the fall.
The door bashes open and I hear the security chain swinging against the wall.
And I think along the way it's picked up 1 or 2 ghosts.
And he was kind of like quite hazy.
Something strange was happening.
And I saw a dark hooded monk float into the bedroom.
The cheekbone was ground and battered. An eyeball was practically out of the socket.
They said, so you know you've got a presence in the house.
When they seen a semicircular shape of smoke that was glowing bright in the dark.
Supposed to be haunted, this room, by a maid.
Used to talk to a ghost here almost daily.
There are often around 50 of these ghostly shapes.
He tried to shout, but no sound would come out of his throat.
I lay in bed looking at the doorknob, and it started to turn.
He said to me, "You look like you've seen a ghost," which I reply, "I just have."
When he was finally removed from the machinery, his body was mangled, his leg was broken in several places, and his arm was nearly torn off.
And the dust was still falling from the ceiling.
They cut the body down and found it was quite cold.
The steps stopped outside her bedroom door.
They saw this object float up from the stairs.
And it was obvious that he had held her down with some force while he took her away alive.
She had an older gentleman who came and sat on the end of the bed in Victorian clothes.
The deceased was found head first in the pipe with arms outstretched.
When her husband detected the crime, she poisoned him too.
And an apparition of a lady in grey was above him. He was held down by his chest.
The candle was made from the fat of the murderer, with the corpse's hair used as the candle wick.
I turned round and this old lady was right behind me. Well, I ran.
Well, I didn't believe in ghosts, like, you know what I mean? Because I was a miner and I used to walk in the dark all the time, sort of thing, blah, blah, blah.
Are you brave enough to follow our terror trail? Or are you afraid of the nightmares it may bring?